Printable. So now we're kind of like going a little bit easier. And now we're getting into not books, but they're one-page documents, okay? They're tutorials, guidelines, information, rules, checklists, cheat sheets. And they usually take less than 30 minutes to create. I love Printables. I just want to say, I told you guys the story of how I started out publishing like 20,000 word books. That did not take less than 30 minutes. It took a week to do. The way I was doing it, it was a lot of work and it was a lot of time invested. I wasn't hiring people to do that. I was doing it all myself, okay? With these, you just can create and throw it up and see what happens. Now, I love to give this example because this is an example of a printable I found on Etsy. And this person was selling this sign. It says, important, face mask required, thank you for understanding. And when I look, the way that I kind of looked, engaged to see how things are selling on Etsy, because they don't really tell you, you want to like look at how many reviews there are, because the reviews tell you a lot. The reviews, you can assume that about 10% of the buyers leave reviews. So we got 600 reviews here on a printable that costs 90 cents. And you might be saying, oh, but 90 cents, who cares? You're not making anything. Well, when you sell 6,000, well, you know, that's nothing to laugh about, right? It actually, my jaw dropped because, and the person who made this sign, it probably took them less than 20 minutes. And they made at least 6K off of this. Can you believe that? I mean, just think about that for 1 second. Think about how complicated we make things sometimes, right? We have to do all these funnels and products and write all these ebooks and all this stuff. Meanwhile, this person here is making a killing off of, 20 minutes worth of work. Really, come on. Here's one I made, this printable, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Surviving Quarantine. And this was also 6,000. This was over a 3-month period of time. Remember what I said though, no matter what you're selling, you always want to lead people to go to somewhere else. So this example here, I have like a video tutorial training of what all this means, right? When I say each letter and what I talk about here, right? debjones.com, whatever. So they go and they can listen to the training if they purchase the printable. That's just an added bonus that I have. So you can publish in subjects like food, exercise, any sport, any activity, basketball, ping pong, soccer, baseball, you name it. Games are hugely popular. Feelings/journals, that's what I create. Rule books, guidelines. Now I want you to really think about the world that we're living in today. There is such a need for content like this, you wouldn't imagine. And it's funny because teachers, they're very smart, right? Teachers are awesome, but they are not content creators. So I have many teacher friends, and I was listening to them in a panic in the beginning of the school year because a lot of the schools, especially around here, they didn't give their teachers a curriculum. So the teachers, like my one friend, she's a gym teacher, and she teaches little kids, and they had a no equipment policy. So they weren't allowed to use any equipment in the gym classes. So she had to think of all these things that she can do to, you know, keep these kids busy for 45 minutes or however long it was without any equipment. And then if you're not, you know, if it were me, I'd be able to come up with stuff because I know how to create content, right? I know where to look. But if you know where to look too, right? That's the point. Other people don't know where to look. They're not the content creators we are. So if we can profit a little bit off of our expertise and what we know how to do and what we can create for the people who need to create this stuff. And remember, they're not content creators. They'd be happy to shell out 90 cents, $1.99, $2.99, $4.99, right? Not a lot of money when you're only selling one, but what if you're selling 50, 100, 200 of them? Now you're like, oh my gosh, this is like my ticket to literally print money. And that's what you can do with these kinds of printables that, you know, you can learn how to create. So while I take my first sip of water here today, can you please share in the questions or the chat box if you maybe got a spark or an idea just from seeing and hearing kind of the need of our world today and the information that people are craving and they're just obsessed with and they'll purchase, but from you. Okay, so yeah, people are saying definitely if you have ideas, you don't want to share them, that's cool. But let me know if you can envision yourself creating these. I don't want to downplay it, but literally these one-page pieces of content that if you hit the jackpot on one of these, man, you're lucky. Ideas are happening. You can see it all makes sense. Great. And, you know, think outside the box. You know what's great about this and what I really, really love is that you can have this idea and you might say, oh, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work, whatever it is. Who cares? If it only took you 30 minutes to create and throw up to sell, that you're not wasting anything. If anything, you know, you say, oh, here's what I can do better next time. Or, oh, I did this, but I should do it more like this because it was better. This is a better process, right? So it's all a learning experience, right? So people are just, they would even buy like the best shows to watch on Netflix. Like this information that people can just, you think that they can like just search it for free wherever, they buy it, especially if it's inexpensive, because remember, people want to have the work done for them already, right? They don't want to do the work themselves. In fact, me and my friends were talking the other day about these, you know, little wood things that you buy off of Etsy, and they say, you know, beach is that way, and then they have the zip code, and it's like, you look at it, and you're like, yeah, I could make this myself, but I'm not going to go to Michael's and get all this unless I really want to do an arts and crafts day. No, I just want to order it and put it up on my wall. Okay? So, think of ideas as crazy as they are, as competitive as it is. Just do it, and you're not wasting any time. Yep, templates are great too, for sure. Right, so PLR newbie, I did start out talking about workbooks, and then I introduced the concept of printables. So this is a slightly different concept than a workbook. It's like maybe like a component of a workbook, It's just a different type of content that you can sell if you're not ready to do a workbook, you know? So it's all under the umbrella of low content. Gail says this feels like a recording, not a live seminar. Well, how would I do that, Gail, if this wasn't live? So there we go. Should I say the date and time? If I knew it, I would. Let's see. And workbooks are a scaled down version of an ebook. Okay, you might want to re-listen. We talked about that, and we might have gone fast. They could be for sure. Jen says aromatherapy 101. I love it. I love that. People, oh my God, people eat that stuff up. You know it. Gardening lessons. Mandy gets it. Yes, implementation is important for sure. Gail, I'm not answering your question. I'm sorry. There's a lot of questions, and I see that you wrote a lot. So maybe I'll get back to that one at the end. Exercise planner, perfect. My specific questions for you were to write down any ideas that you might have that you would create when it comes to creating these simple, low content products to sell. Yep, Anna, we got you covered. Abdul says exercise planner. I love it. Yep, and there's no question mark. We can do anything. We're self-publishers. Exercise planner with pictures. Even better. I love it. Perfect. Okay, so I reiterate here, $6,000 just from a Microsoft Word